part of the criticism coming your way seems to be in a veiled way from the man who signed your checks, to be very honest with you. Jerry Jones, in a story written on DallasCowboys.com, was talking about Dan Quinn coming back to your fold and mentioning how Sean Payton and Jason Garrett stuck around for a long time as assistants in Dallas because, quote, every one of those three coaches have said they'd love to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So my point is that has, in my mind, a lot of logic as to why they might not take a job now rather than one or wait and see how the cards go in the future. The follow-up question was kind of obvious. Like, what about your current head coach, Mike McCarthy? And the quote was, Mike knows that someday somebody other than him will be coach of the Cowboys. What do you think about that supposition, Coach Mike McCarthy?
Oh, so we have an hour, correct?
The floor is yours. The time's yours, as Andy Reid might say in the media. So, what do you think?
Well, I think it's a number of things. I mean, I think number one, I think it's every landscape in this league is different. I've been very fortunate to work at two of the premier organizations in pro football. And they're all different. So and I think clearly in this in this situation, the way things are done here, there's a bigger picture focus, and I've always frankly just keep it about winning, and I've always kind of taken a blind eye or blind ear to those things, but that's not the case when you work here. So I mean I think clearly when you look at those type of comments, I think you have to understand, the platform where they're coming from. I mean, I have an excellent relationship with Jerry Jones. We talk on a regular basis about everything and anything, big picture, tight focus on what we're doing, program-wise, and more importantly, his biggest interest is, the development of our players, especially our young players. So, but when I look at the comments, I mean, the thing about Dan, Dan Quinn being here was very important to me and our organization. I think it's the reality of it is, Dan and I had visited long before he ever took a head coach interview, frankly, long before the playoffs even started, about how happy he is here, and I envy him in some ways where, as a head coach, you get pulled away from the things that really would help you advance in this league. So, I mean, the joy that he was having coordinating, he's been a tremendous asset for me, personally and professionally, just having another individual with the experience of a head coach. So, we talked about him staying here, long before he even took the interview. Now, obviously, when he took the interview and then this narrative broke out, I think in reflection to the relationship that Dan and I do have, he just said, "Hey, man, if I'm not comfortable with this narrative, if you really feel like I need to take one of these jobs, just be honest with him." And we kind of laughed about it, and I just said, Dan, 10 to 12 years ago, I'd tell you, please get the hell out of here. I don't want to deal with this. But the reality of it is, I'm about winning. He's about winning, and the best thing for the Cowboys is for Dan Quinn to be here. And obviously it was his decision, his alone. But I clearly wanted him to know from the start of all that I wanted him here because it's in the best interest of us winning. I've been at this a long time, Rich. I understand, how hard it is to win a Super Bowl, and so the best thing for us, one of the best for our opportunity to be at the forefront of how we want to do it here, it's having Dan Quinn. So as far as what happens next and all that, I think that's really just part of the landscape. Jerry's the owner, he's the GM, and I mean he's always taken a 360-degree view of everything. And I think it's like anything in life. We have a lot of one-on-one conversations. We discussed all these things. I never once felt that I was not going to be the head coach moving forward. And frankly, I've been at this long enough. That's all I'm focused on. And I think the players, the coaches, football operations is my main hold. I'm the leader of this football team, and I'm about winning, and that's all I've ever focused on, and that's all I ever will focus on. And are these narratives unusual? Absolutely. I've never dealt with anything like this. Do I wish I didn't have to come on here and answer questions about it? Yeah, no doubt about it. I wish we were talking about something else, but it is part of our landscape, and I just think keeping things real and keeping things focused, because at the end of the day, it's about the people that you're in charge of. It's about the people you coach, and most importantly, it's about our locker room, and our locker room's about winning. I love our players. I love what they bring to the table. I think the advancement we made from year one to year two was impressive. We know we have more to offer. The emotion and the sting of how we lost is real, but in my lifetime in this league, it'll make us better, and I truly believe that. So it's part of our process, and it's part of our hard learning experience. But I'm not naive to the fact that you got to take advantage of opportunities when they're in front of you. We did a lot of really good things, some great things this year, but we didn't play our best football at the most important time in our last game, and that's what we have to really focus on moving forward.
So next time you see Jerry Jones, have you seen him since these comments came out, or you haven't had?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
all right.
I haven't seen him since with the Super Bowl, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I talked to him Saturday. Yeah, we talk on a regular basis.
So do you say to him, today's just not that day? That I realize I'm not going to be the Cowboys coach forever. Today's not that day, right? Did you talk about this sort of stuff with him, or you just go about your business and let him address it at some point? You know what I mean? Like, because it is unusual for an owner to say this sort of stuff, certainly about a coordinator that you have a great relationship with and has done a terrific job. I mean, so that's why I'm just wondering, do you address it directly with him at all?
Yeah, no, we talked about it. We talked about Dan's situation.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about Sean Payton's narrative also. It's been discussed.
You have discussed that with him. Huh? What is anything you can share that you have discussed?
Well, no, I mean, really, the conversation was, you and I are in this, back to back, and it's a partnership, and just focus on what we need to do moving forward. And he made some, personal comments about how he feels about it, but that's really for him and I. But I'm very, very comfortable with our relationship and our dialogue. I mean, it's at the end of the day, we both want the same thing, and it's to win the world championship. And definitely the narratives are unusual, but at the end of the day, I think you got to trust the relationships and the communication and the connection that you have in our leadership group, and I think we're doing everything we possibly can to build a championship team here.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.